It is 7:17. The death of celebrity Luke Perry earlier this week was a shock to millions of his fans, and how he passed away was even more surprising due to a stroke at the age of 52. It, of course, has reignited the conversation on stroke awareness, and joining us this morning to talk more about it is Dr. Kubam with Northwest Health, along with Serena Munns with the American Heart Association of Northwest Arkansas. Guys, thank you for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Kubam, let's start with you. Simply put, and just a real simple question, what is a stroke?
Stroke essentially means a brain attack. Basically what happens is part of the brain tissue dies because when there's a problem with the blood flow. So this problem can be due to an obstruction or blockage of the blood flow because of something wrong with the blood flow, or it can be because of leakage of blood due to rupture of a blood vessel. So when problem is because of the obstruction of the blood flow, we call it an ischemic stroke, and these strokes are the most common. I mean, 80% of the strokes are ischemic strokes, and then the rest of the strokes are hemorrhagic strokes. That's when it happens because of the rupture of a blood vessel.
And Serena, strokes are treatable if recognized early, and there are 4 ways that people can recognize a stroke, and it's FAST.
Yes.
And there's a meaning behind that. Kind of go through this acronym on how people can recognize the symptoms of a stroke.
Right. So we want people to be aware so that they can spot a stroke fast. And the F stands for face drooping. So one side will droop. And then the next is arm weakness. And so if you have somebody hold both arms up and one starts to drop, that's arm weakness. And then the S is for speech difficulty. So if they're slurring their speech, that's definitely a cause for concern. But T is probably the most important. So T is time to call 911. And we advocate for that because time loss is brain loss. So you want to get them help as soon as possible.
Doctor, I know with Luke Perry, he passed away at 52, and the misconception for strokes, it happens to older Americans, but a 52-year-old, is that common for someone that young to have a stroke?
Yeah, I mean, stroke can happen at any age. I mean, even children can have stroke. I mean, certainly, I mean, the risk increases as we get older, but I think, I mean, it all depends on the mechanism of the stroke. I mean, strokes can happen, as I said, in children, young people, and there have been a lot of strokes in young people recently. So kind of sometimes when you have a stroke because of a problem with your heart rhythm, or when you have a heart disease or something like that. So strokes can happen at any age, and I think it's always be important about the awareness of having a stroke.
And awareness and prevention. Serena, in the last 20 seconds, how can people prevent from having a stroke?
So high blood pressure is probably the key. That's one of the highest risks that people have. Diabetes is also, cholesterol is another one. But then also just a great diet and exercise. Having an overall health is what we really need to look for here.
No matter what symptoms or disease you may have, exercise seems to be always the cure. So there you go.
It is.
Very good tips and very good information on the warning signs of a stroke and just really the intricacies of how strokes happen. We appreciate all the information, Doctor, and Serena, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for
Thank
stopping
you.
by.